Now I can't see you, but I can see this. Oy vey. All right, so we are feeling good. We are. So, soulware, I guess I have to pick a mic. Soulware for authentic happiness. This is one of the final chapters in this wonderful book, Spiritual Liberation, which, by the way, I just love the name of that, because the only liberation really we will have ever is spiritual. If we wait for the bondage of this universe, there's no liberation. We are bound. Yes? So Dr. Michael Beckwith says, he describes authentic happiness as a quality of being that emerges when we live from our soul rather than from our conditioned personality. He makes a powerful distinction between our soulware and our software, which, being kind of a techie, I think is quite cute. So the software is our conditioning. It's what we've been taught, told. It's what, well, next month we'll be with the 4 agreements, and it's what Ruiz talks about when he talks about our conditioning, our domestication, that each and every human being comes into this life a free soul by choice to experience the happy, joy-filled, peace-filled experience of being here. And then we get taught our name, our language, what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, what will make you happy, what won't make you happy. It teaches us fear, limitation, judgment, failure, separation, puts us on autopilot and has us deeply embedded in that we are not enough. Because does it kind of sound what it's like being a human being on earth? Connected only to your ego, connected only to that which you think you are. So that would be the software. But fortunately, we have soulware. So soulware, rather, is love, or is our divine, soulware is our divine essence, and of course it is also love. It's our authentic spiritual nature. It is a part of us that is already whole, creative, loving, peaceful, and connected to the infinite. Our spiritual journey is less about acquiring anything and more about getting rid of all of that conditioning, losing what we don't need. So the ego, you know, we love the ego. I think, I can't remember who said this. Somebody said we don't need to get rid of the ego. We just need to tame it, right? We need to identify we need to identify our identity. And for most of us, the ego is believed to be our identity. And as well it should be through our conditioning and our domestication, because as children, all you know is what everyone around you told you. That's all you know. And we grew up with all of that as if it were real, as if it were the truth with a capital T, as if it were the only reality. And it is really the source of much of the mischief in life, because it's not only do we live from that place, but we also think we're right. So what I believe is right, and what you believe is not what I believe, so therefore it is probably wrong, and we fight, right? We fight to keep our identity safe. So the ego always comes from something is missing. The ego will always tell you that you are not enough, that you don't have enough, that you need to prove yourself, that you need to control life. And it's exhausting, is it not? It's exhausting trying to live that way. And we're trying to live that way towards a goal that isn't even real. I don't know. So I was raised by a 50s mom. So June Cleaver, does that ring a bell? Like June Cleaver? She wasn't June Cleaver. But what she had in what she had in, I have lost a word here. It's a sad, sad thing. So what she and June Cleaver agreed upon is that happiness lived in a husband, 2.5 children, and a white picket fence. Or happiness lived in becoming a dentist, a lawyer, a doctor, having a lot of money, being powerful. And if we had all that, we would be happy. How did it turn out? Now, all those things may be nice, but they are not the source of your happiness. The whole point of this week's chapter is that we have authentic happiness that is independent of our ego or conditioned self. So, our work is to re-identify ourselves from that conditioned self, from our software to our soulware. Now, I kind of like this analogy very much because the software, computer software, can be changed. It can be updated, right? It can be erased, delete. I would call this conditioning the dirt and grit of the journey. And all of us have had our own journeys. Some of our journeys have been easy. Some of our journeys have been challenging. Some of our journeys have been joyous. Some of our journeys have been dramatic. But all of that journey needs to be, you need a soul shower. Like the rain's outside. We can just let the rain wash away the dirt and grit of our human journey so that what's left is what's always been there. You know, earlier in the month we talked about the acorn, that the oak tree is inside of the acorn from day one. And that, I'm sorry, can you guys hear this buzzing? Is this buzzing fixable, Cole, or not? Like this piece of equipment right here? Anyway, I'll ignore it if it's not fixable, but it's very loud for me. You can't hear it? Well, I'm the only one in the room that matters, so. Oh, you're so wonderful. You thought I was good before, now wait. So, Dr. Michael says happiness flows from purpose. And the purpose that it's flowing from is your sacred purpose, your divine purpose. You know, I truly believe that we are incarnated with a intention, a powerful intention for this lifetime, with gifts and talents that only you have, that you are a unique, individualized expression of the infinite, and that until you know that, and until we start expressing that, authentic happiness will be elusive, because then it's all based on conditions. You know, you get the right job, you get the right spouse, you get the right 2.5 children. I don't know what happened to the other half, but you get the power, you get the money. You know, I started this is going to sound a little bit neurotic, but I am a little bit neurotic. So I started an in memoriam list about 3 years ago where I'm just keeping track of everyone who dies. Well, because everyone dies, right? So all my favorite movie stars or singers and all the people, you know, in my life, you know, I've lost 3 of my husbands are gone already. Now, this is not depressing, but it is poignant. Because happiness comes from re-identifying from your human self to your spiritual self. And once you do that, life changes. Once you do that, your approach to life will change. You know, can you imagine your life living from that purpose, completely ignoring what other people want, expect, or demand from you? Completely ignoring that little, you know, we'll speak more about this next month as well, but Don Miguel Ruiz in the Four Agreements, he talks about how inside of us we have the judge and the jury, and we have a book of laws that we were given by our parents. And the book of laws tells us what's right and what's wrong. And when we break the rules, we get a little solar plexus disturbance. Do you all know what I'm talking about? Even if you break the rules for something good, even if you live fully, if you are breaking the rules of your family of origin, you're going to feel a little weird for a minute. So this re-identification sometimes takes a minute to settle in. So in Michael's words, he said, authentic happiness is connected to our expressing our gifts. When we discover or become aware of why we are here, why we came, what our soul's intention is, and begin serving from that deeper calling, joy and happiness will follow. Authentic joy and happiness, unconditional, non-circumstantial joy and happiness. I want to tell you that there is an undercurrent in our culture that says this. The undercurrent is the goal of life is not to be happy. The goal of life is to work hard and struggle and to sacrifice. So happiness isn't like a coveted destination for people because it feels elusive, like happiness is not the point. How could you possibly line up all the stars so that you could be happy? It has to come from somewhere else. Michael says we don't serve because we are happy. We become happy when we are serving our higher purpose. So the practices that awaken soulware. So I would say to you that this center exists to awaken, to install soulware, to give you a shower to wash off the dirt and grit of the journey. And when people walk in these rooms, they're bringing it with them, the dirt and grit of the journey. Each one of us brings our story. Each one of it brings our heartaches. Each one of us brings our limitations. You know, one of the most profound things Dr. Michael Beckwith ever said was we are either, in terms of our spiritual journey, being pushed by pain or pulled by vision. And so in these rooms, we want to shift it. People may end up in the chair pushed by pain, and it's very common and by far the most prevalent way people awaken to their spiritual identity is through pain. A divorce, a diagnosis, your house burns, I don't know, all the terrible things that happen. We end up saying, there's got to be more. Is this all there is? We can sing, is this all there is? Rather to be pulled by a vision. Rather to say, I believe that there's an essential self inside of me. I believe that it is real, and I'm going to cultivate it. And I'm going to listen to everything Rev D says and do it. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to do affirmations. I'm going to get into community and serve on a team, right? I'm going to, whatever it is, that these are the practices: gratitude, forgiveness, compassion, self-inquiry, and living consciously. So one of the benefits of living from your spiritual identity is that you'll be awake as you move through life. You'll be conscious, you'll be mindful, you'll be living in the moment rather than from the past. And listen, it's very easy as we get older to think of the past as the good old days, like the best is behind and not in front. But we're here, that's not true. The best is when? Now. The best is right now. Right this minute, no matter what age you are, no matter what your physical condition is, that the soulware, that which has been given to you not by conditioning, but by the infinite presence of unconditional love and joy. I use the word God because I love the word God, but you don't have to use that word. You can use the word spirit. You can use the word the quantum field of unlimited possibilities, the infinite intelligence that governs this universe, spirit, the Atman presence. But the understanding that we did not make ourselves, that we did not make anything. All we've really done in the 200,000 years that human beings have been intelligent, standing upright, all we've done is discover what God did and use it. We didn't do anything. We didn't figure out how to grow flowers, make babies, do sunsets, rotate the planets. There is some intelligence that is, in my world, irrefutable. And it doesn't make any sense that that intelligence isn't where you are, or that we're not intimately connected to it. Dr. Michael doesn't offer happiness as wishful thinking. We offer the tools and practices to cultivate it. So these practices, if you practice them, will culminate in a shift from I am Denise, the human being, to I am Denise, the spiritual being. I am a being of software to I am a being of soulware. Because your true identity is love. That's it. And anything unlike love in your life, anything unloving you've ever thought or done, or that's been thought or done to you, it's like a smoke and mirrors. It's just a mistake. It's not real. So our identifying with anything less than love is not true about us. No matter who you are, no matter what you've done, no matter where you've been, freedom is the point. Liberation is the point. Freedom from what? Freedom from fear, freedom from limited beliefs, freedom from limitations of all kinds, old identities, freedom from living as a victim of circumstances, and this one's really great, freedom from the fear of death. As a spiritual being, your essence, that part of you that is real. How many of you have ever had a loved one's ashes in an urn on your dresser or in the living room? Only 2 people? Well, here's what you'll discover when you get one. When somebody you love passes out of their body and they put their ashes in an urn and set it on your dresser or your mantle, you will know that that person you loved is not in there. That who we are is not, the body is not who we are. We are more. We are ethereal. We're spirits. So freedom from discord, freedom from lack, limitation, freedom from the fear of death liberates us so that we can live this life in these bodies with authentic everything, including authentic happiness. Yes? So you're all really, really looking forward to meditating with me tonight at 6 o'clock, aren't you? She's so manipulative. All right, so 3 key points from today. One is we already possess what we are seeking. You already got it. You're already perfect. You're already loving. You're already joyful. You're already successful. Ooh, you guys like these 3 points. Everyone likes 3 points. The second one is that our conditioning is not our identity. And this is, if you don't, you can be willing to accept that if it's not obvious. Like if you say, well, I don't know, I am who I am, and I am who I am because of my wonderful parents and my aunties and my uncles and where I went to school and the church I went to, that's who I am. It's not who you are. Who you are is more than that. And not that all of that does not contribute to, add to, and amplify your life experience. It's just not who you are. Because, if you take a brand new baby, an infant, and you put it in Italy, it's going to speak Italian. And if you put it in Japan, it's going to speak Japanese. And all of this is post no speech. You have to teach a child Italian. You have to teach a child Japanese. You have to teach a child everything, which is how We got here. Somebody taught us everything. And the third point is that spiritual practice rewires your life. Michael says, happiness isn't something to chase, it is something to uncover through remembering. So it's not even like I'm here telling you, giving you something. You are remembering something about yourself that you should actually find exhilarating. A little hint of exhilaration. It's like, oh, thank God. That's how I felt. Thank God. Thank God there's more. In fact, my spiritual journey started with this. I'm not kidding. 45 years old, face down in the mud. I'm not going to give you the circumstances. But I remember saying to this God I didn't quite know yet, if you don't give me something useful to do in life, more than this, I'm done. And I wasn't suicidal or anything. I just wanted purpose, right? I wanted a reason to get out of bed every morning besides the drama I had created in my life. So much drama. You can still do it if you want to, but at least you'll do it by choice. So through practice, we move from fear-based programming to soul-centered living. So the goal of life is not for our ego to become a happier version of itself. That's going to the gym, or winning the lottery, or getting a new job, or getting a new spouse, or getting rid of a spouse you have. That's making your ego happier, or struggling to make your ego happier. But the goal is to awaken the self that has always been whole, free, and deeply joyful. Because it's sitting in that chair right now, right where you are, sitting on your couch or in your beds, wherever you're watching from this morning. So, let's do an affirmation. Isn't this just good news? Yes. It's so worth getting out of bed in the morning for. Yeah. All right. So, I have an affirmation. We're going to do it differently today. Normally, I read it and then you read it. Today, we're going to read it call and response. I'm going to read a sentence and you're going to repeat it. With affirmations are very interesting because mostly when we do affirmations, we're affirming something that hasn't happened yet. Like we're calling forward something, prosperity or health, or something in our checkbook. So, and affirmations work because the universe is responsive. The universe is listening to give us what we want. Rearranging molecules around, bringing people into your experience, taking people out of your experience. So you have to say them with faith, belief, and enthusiasm. All right. So repeat after me. Today, I consciously choose happiness as a way of life. Today, I consciously choose happiness as a way of life. I saturate my mind with a joy that comes from within. I release all worry, fear, and doubt. Happiness upholds me, blesses me, and inspires me. I am intoxicated with the joy of pure being. And so it is. Awesome. All right. Whew. I'm glad. I feel sorry for the empty chairs in this room. All right, let's turn within for a moment. This turning within is another practice that you can do anytime as you move through your life where you feel anxiety or fear. Just turn within. Let your outer eyes close, which is symbolically turning away from the condition and the circumstances. Let the world be where it is. And as you open your inner eyes, you begin to connect with, become aware of, and feel this you that is connected to God, that is the very essence of your life. You begin to become connected to a dimension of your being that is impossible to connect with when you are out in the world, busy, busy, busy. And so we turn within in order to center ourselves in the truth, in our own wholeness and our own perfection. And it is through that silence and through that connection that we feel our way into an awareness that there is a power, there is a presence, there is as Ernest Holmes called it, there is something that is cradling creation. And we know it's not a man with a beard in a cloud. And we may not know exactly what it is, but it is irrefutable that something is happening here and that we are a part of it. And so I would say that we're made in the image and likeness of love, made in the image and likeness of this thing, that we are the thing. And so it is from that place of knowing our intimate, eternal connection with all that there is, that I speak this word for and about each person within the sound of my voice, calling forth the activation and elevation of your soulware, the activation of that which is within you that is pure, part of your being. Whatever created all this love and beauty did not create it so that we might struggle or suffer. It created it so that we might revel in the beauty and the love. And so this is what I know that we do this week, in whatever way you do it, in whatever way you stay grounded and centered in this idea that can liberate you from the ups and downs of life and deliver you into a calm and a peace that passes all human understanding. And so with joy, I just release this word, trusting and knowing that the universe, even now, is clothing the words I have spoken with flesh,